Like, look at this. Like, look at this. What is this? It's an idea. It's a whole entire track idea. And then you can create clip here. Just click it, hit tab, drag and drop your clip onto the track. And there you go, you got your MIDI. Hi guys, today we're gonna create some drum kits. And the reason I'm making an intro like this is because I have no idea how to make an intro. And I don't feel like it, so we're gonna just dive in. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep this video short because it's really freaking warm in my room and I cannot get any air, but I really felt the inspiration to share this particularly cool way to come up with drum grooves today. And we're just gonna dive right in. So this is the template that I have set up. Ignore these tracks that I have here. I'm gonna create a new MIDI track, and in this MIDI track, I'm gonna load up a drum kit with sounds for organic house, which I'm gonna make available in the description for free. I spent some time just going through a few of my favorite sounds and sounds that generally sound good when used together. And I also combined that with MIDI. This drum kit is called Dark, and combined with this MIDI over here, which I'm gonna loop up and solo just so you hear this. It sounds pretty freaking dope. You can open up the sounds here with the open up. Close it back down so it's really short and transient. And basically just set up a couple macros that control a variety of different parameters, like this percussion over here is linked to this knob, the pitch. If I go into controls, you see that the transpose is linked to this knob, giving you some really like detailed ear candy type stuff, making the groove feel more organic. Yeah, you can really hear it if you open up the groove. That's what I always love in a groove. Oh. Lovely. Just that sound alone, lovely. And if I double click the MIDI, you can see that the pad is always triggered here. So whenever this MIDI note plays, you also get the pad sound playing. And that goes well with the entire drum groove as well. So you can change the pitch. Again, here. This pitch knob, or this pitch button, is mapped to the macro. If I right click it, I could map it to the macros here. You get 16 available ones, enabled Knife 12. And I can also map the start position, which I did here, to the macro, which gives you a different intonation, tonality. Here it sounds really full. And here it sounds unnoticeable, rather subtle. So you can basically select the intensity of the pad here. And I also added a melodic stab sound, stabs dark, over here, and did practically the same. I mapped the pitch and the start position, so start position here, and the transposition, which is the pitch, to these two guys. You can see if I change the pitch, that changes here too. If I change the start position, that changes here. So if we play that with the rest of the groove, you see I could choose a rather subtle part or a more intense audible part. You see how it's looping up? That's again because we're always triggering a particular MIDI note, which is this one here. You see each time this MIDI note is triggered, it plays the entire sample. And since we're playing that MIDI note in a smaller interval, like it's playing over and over again, that always triggers the beginning of the loop. You can get some really cool tonal stuff and some melodic floor sounds going on this way. I like this, for example. And if you hit randomize, it'll just randomize you all of these macros that I have created here. Also, I did the same for the bass. There's a bass sound over here somewhere that's like this really short and percussive tribal organic bass. By hitting random, you get new ideas. And if you like the set of macros that you've randomized, you can just hit new Command R to rename to weird. And then create a snapshot of that particular macro so it saves it. So each time you hit play on each and every single one of these snapshots, and by the way, if you don't see them, blend them in here by hitting the snapshot or camera variation button thing. And you can just change it. This one's called piano. This one's called dark minimal. This one's called weird, the one we just created. And all that is pretty cool. However, it really depends on the MIDI that we have already pre-programmed. And I thought to myself, how is there a way to create MIDI without always having to draw in the individual patterns? Being the freaking lazy producer that I am, there is a device that I discovered when searching through Max for Live devices, and for some reason it's not available anymore. Like, I can't find it, but I'm just gonna drop it as a re-download as well. I guess it doesn't really matter since it's not available anyway. I'm just gonna make it available in this project file here. It's called Collection EDM Rhythms, and it's a pretty golden device. Like, I really love it. It's simple, but it's amazing. Just going to copy it since I already have it loaded onto this track and put it onto the track that we just created. As a matter of fact, let's make this one red so we know that this is the track we're working with. And I'm going to paste it here. Let's delete this pitch device. We don't need that. And disable the MIDI clip by hitting 0 on our number keyboard, since we are working with a MIDI generator now, a device that is giving us MIDI. This device is already pre-calibrated to drum rack. So if you have your drum rack set up in this way, it basically knows, okay, on this pad, which is C1, a kick will be triggered. This layer over here, D1, is a hi-hat, and this is kind of the usual way to set up a drum rack. And if you don't know how to set up your drum rack, just go into drums in the left panel over here, load up any kit, drag and drop, and you can already see how it's set up. We got some percussion here, we got a kick here, a bass sound here, a snare here, and if you want to create your own custom kits, you can basically just replace the sounds according to their name. You can just drag and drop your own clap here, your own tom, and you'll have your own custom drum rack. The reason why drum racks are set up this way is because usually if you play it on some kind of a MPC or push or some kind of a drum pad controller, it's easiest to reach each and every single one of these pads the way they are set up this way. So kind of take this as a reference point here. This EDM Rhythms is calibrated in a way that it has a ton of different rhythms that are within the genre of EDM, and it outputs you MIDI that is designed to be used together with a drum rack. So we could go into Deep Afro House, for example, and hit play. Pretty cool. Like, we already get some kind of a groove, a starting point. And you can hit arrow up, like click this number here, hit arrow up or down to change the kit. And then we get like a deep house groove here, which can be a great starting point for your tracks. Now, it's not triggering every pad as you see here. It's not triggering the stabs and the melodic stuff, but that's fine. Like, we can still manually draw in the notes afterward, which I will show you in a second. And now this is, let's go for disco. Like, some patterns are weird. I'm going to be honest here. But some are really cool. Like this Driven 909 is inspiring to me because it triggers some pads. And I can just go through my macro variations, see which kit I like the most. And these tech house ones sound kind of cool. This one's weird. Tech House 5 is pretty cool. A new feature in Ableton Live 12 allows you to swap through all of the sounds simultaneously. So if you want a completely new kit, you could just hit sample similarity swap and swap through these sounds like this. Now it swapped through all of the sounds in this kit, or you could individually swap through sounds this way. And you can also lock certain sounds to be excluded from sample similarity swap. So if you like the kick, you can lock it. If you like the pads and this kind of stuff here, you can lock it and then swap through the entire kit. Everything will be randomized except those pads that you've locked. And this is a pretty fascinatingly cool idea, or way to come up with ideas. If you want to watch a video on this, I've created one somewhere here. I can't really figure out which freaking corner to point into, dude. I've been doing this for so many years. I still don't know which corner. Somewhere here. Like, look at this. Like, look at this. What is this? It's an idea. It's a whole entire track idea. And then you can create clip. Create clip here. Just click it. Hit tab. Drag and drop your clip onto the track. And there you go. You got your MIDI. Now you know you don't need to use the collection EDM Rhythms device. You have your MIDI. You can loop it. There you go. Now you can edit the MIDI. You see, it's really stale. Like, it's really like dun, 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 like on the grid. Usually you don't want it to be so on the grid. Like, you could take some elements like the hi-hats and stuff and humanize them a bit. Put them off the grid, dude. Don't go too ham with the humanize. Sometimes it sounds a bit weird, but just a bit. This is lovely. I love it so much. And if I have something I like, I just duplicate the track. I mute the track that I have previously created. I solo the new one. And now using sample similarity swap, I continue to go through kits. So let's go through the next kit here. Let's unlock these pads. So we swap through the entire kit. Also very nice. Wow. And I can also add my own MIDI here. Oi. Oh, this is a bass sound. This sounds kind of cool here. That's pretty dope. Yeah. So I'm going to make this entire project file with the MIDI generator device and the drum kits available for free in the description down below. You can type in your email and you'll be sent this directly. I just notify you whenever there's a new video or there's a new sound pack, but if you don't want, you can also unsubscribe from the mailing list. But that's just another great way for me to create a community around YouTube or outside of YouTube, because my videos, they don't always reach my entire audience, and having people sign up to my email list is a great way to just get connected in a different way. So yeah, feel free to grab this using the links down below. And in the future, I plan on creating some kind of a kit or pack that has more of these drum kits inside. Like right now, I'm giving away 2 that I've just started working on, which is called the dark one and the relaxed, along with the MIDI files. In the future, I might make something that's a bit more full. Let's just see where this whole thing takes me. Yeah, and just to wrap up the video, here's a few kits that I created previously. Here's the other kit. Here's another kit that I like as well. Really minimal. And on the master channel, I have this Highpass filter loaded up, which allows me to create tension. Kind of like a DJ would do in his set, like activate the Highpass filter. And this is also great to learn arrangement. While you have your bass cut out, you can add melodic elements or elements that add to the tension of the track. And at any time you feel like, you can just bring the bass back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And add some kind of a new bass groove or something like that to make it more danceable, you know? But this is like the ultimate way to start tracks and get inspired. And I do this all the time. It's so much fun. You know, just put together kits, mess around with a couple macros, swap through the entire kit, see if you get something cooler. Activate that high pass. See how it sounds like. Cool. And then back. 2, 2, 3, 4. Bom, 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 bom. Something like that. Bada bom, bom. Yeah, some weird freaking ideas. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to support the channel, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, I have a few sound bundles on my site that are perfectly designed for organic house, so feel free to grab those. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Guys, today I'm going to show you how to create drum kits using